Hello, welcome to my channel. In this session, I am going to give you a number of SQL interview questions and top scoring answers. In fact, I am going to go through 24 common interview questions, the ones I feel are most likely to come up during your interview. So let's get into those 24 SQL interview question and answers. So the first question, very basic question, what is SQL? SQL stands for Structured Query Language. It is the standard language for relational database management system, which is used for retrieving and manipulating structured databases. So next question, what is the difference between SQL and MySQL? SQL is the standard language for retrieving and manipulating structured databases, while MySQL is a relational database management system, just like SQL Server, Oracle, or IBM DB2, which is used to manage SQL databases. Next question, what are the tables and fields? A table is a set of data that are organized in a model with columns and rows. Columns can be categorized as vertical while rows are horizontal. A table has a specified number of columns called fields but can have any number of rows which is called record. For example, as you see here, we have employee table. So here fields are employee ID, employee name, and date of birth. And these are the records for these fields. So the fourth question is, what are constant in SQL? Constants are basically used to specify the rules concerning data in a table. So it can be applied during creation of a table or after creating using the alter table command. So the constants are not null constant. So it will restrict null values from being inserted into a column. Second one is check constant. So it verifies that all values in a field satisfy a condition. Like in a table we have gender column. So in gender field we can enter only male or female value. So if any other value if we enter, it will throw error. So next one is default constant. So it automatically assigns a default value if no values has been specified for the field. Next one is unique constant. So it ensures unique values to be inserted into a field. Next one is index. So index are field providing faster retrieval of records. So next is primary key constant, which will uniquely identify each record in a table. And the last one is foreign key constant, which used to ensures referential integrity for a record in another table. So next question, what is primary key? A primary key constant uniquely identify each row in a table, so it must contain unique values and has not null constants. So a table in SQL is strictly restricted to have one and only one primary key, which is comprised of single or multiple fields. So this is the syntax to create a primary key constant. So the next question is, what is unique key constant? So unique key constant, a unique constant ensures that all values in a column are different. So this provides uniqueness for the columns and helps identify each row uniquely. Unlike primary key, there can be multiple unique constant defined per table. The code syntax for unique is quite similar to that of primary key and can be used interchangeably. So here is the syntax for writing a unique key constant. So seventh question is, what is a foreign key? A foreign key comprises of single or collection of fields in a table that essentially refers to the primary key in another table. So foreign key constant ensure referential integrity in the relation between two tables. So the table with a foreign key constant is labeled as the child table, and the table containing the candidate key is labeled as the reference or parent table. So as you see here, we have created a student table with primary key column as ID and foreign key column as library ID, which will reference library table and library ID as the field. So the next common question is, what is a join, and list its different types. The SQL join clause is used to combine records from two or more tables in a SQL database based on a related column between the two. So its different types are left join, inner join, right join, and full outer join. So there are four different types of joins in SQL. First one is inner join. It will retrieve records that have matching value in both tables involved in the join. So this is widely used join for queries. This is the syntax for joining two table with inner join. So next is left outer join. So it will retrieve all the records or rows from the left and the matched records rows from the right table. So this is the syntax for left join. Then third one is right outer join. It will retrieve all the records or rows from the right and the matched record from the left table. So this is the syntax for right join. And the last one is full outer join. It will retrieve all the records where there is a match in either the left or right table. And we can write full join query like this. So the next question is, what is a self join? A self join is a case of regular join where a table is joined to itself based on some relation between its own column. We can write self join using this query like this. So the next question is, what is a cross join? Cross join can be defined as a Cartesian product of two tables included in the join. And if we use where clause in the cross join, then the query will work like an inner join. So here, the tables after join contains the same number of rows as in the cross product of number of rows in the two tables. We can write cross join like this. So the next important question is, what is an index? And explain its different types. A database index is a data structure that provides quick lookup of data in a column or columns of a table. It enhances the speed of operation accessing data from a database table at the cost of additional writes and memory to maintain the index data structure. So we can write index using this. Create index, index name on table and on which column we are writing that index. We can drop index using this drop index and then index name. So the first one is unique and non-unique index. Unique indexes are indexes that helps maintain data integrity by ensuring that no two rows of data in a table have identical key values. Once a unique index has been defined for a table, uniqueness is enforced whenever keys are added or changed within the index. So we can create unique index using create unique index, then index name on table and column name. So non-unique indexes on the other hand are not used to enforce constraints on the table with which they are associated. Instead, non-unique indexes are used solely to improve query performance by maintaining a sorted order of data values that are used frequently. Then clustered and non-clustered index. Clustered index are indexes whose order of the rows in a database correspond to the order of the rows in the index. So this is why only one clustered index can be exist in a given table, whereas multiple non-clustered index can exist in a table. So the only difference between clustered and non-clustered index is that the database manager attempts to keep the data in the database in the same order as the corresponding key appear in the clustered index. Clustering index can improve the performance of most query operations because they provide a linear access path to data stored in the database. So the next question is, what are the difference between union and union all? Here, union will return unique records while union all will return all the records with duplicates. This is the syntax for writing the union and union all. So the next important question is, what is a view? A view in a SQL is a virtual table based on the result set of an SQL statement. A view contains rows and columns just like a real table, and the fields in a view are fields from one or more real table in the database. So as you see here, we have two table, table A and table B. So using select query, we can create our view and we can select multiple column from table A and table B, which will be the column for this view. So the next question is, what are truncate, delete and drop statement? Delete statement is used to delete rows from a table. We can write delete query using this. Truncate command is used to delete all the rows from a table and free the space containing the table. Drop command is used to remove an object from the database. If you drop a table, all the rows in the table is deleted and the table structure is also removed from the database. So you can write drop query as drop table, then table name. So basically, if we drop a table, all things associated with the tables are dropped as well. So this includes the relationship defined on the table with other tables, the integrity checks and constraints, access privileges, and other grants that the table has. However, if a table is truncated, none of the problem exists and the table retains its original structure. So next important question is set no count on and off. So these are the statement controls the behavior in SQL Server to show the number of affected rows in SQL query. So if it is off, by default SQL Server shows the number of affected rows in the message pane. And if it is on, we can specify this set statement at the beginning of the statement. Once we enable it, we do not get the number of affected rows in the output. So as you see here, set no count is on. So after insert statement, we see message like this, commands completed successfully. And if set no count is off, so after insert statement, we see the number of rows affected message like this. So the next important question is how to get first not null values between columns. So the answer is using collect function. Select call as home phone, business phone, mobile phone as phone from leads as an example. So if here home phone is null, so it will return business phone. Even this also null, then it will return mobile phone from this table. Second point is using select case. So using select case also we can get not null value between columns. Then using is null function as well, we can get first not null values. So next important question is what are the differences between stored procedure and function? So the answer is the function must return a value, but in a stored procedure it is optional. Even a procedure can return zero values or n number of values. Functions can be called from procedure, whereas procedure cannot be called from a function. The procedure allow select as well as DML statement in it, whereas function allow only select statement in it. So next difference is procedure cannot be utilized in select statement, whereas function can be embedded in a select statement. And next important difference is an exception can be handled by try catch block in a procedures, while try catch block cannot be used in a function. Now one of the important question is tell me any 5 steps to improve the performance for our stored procedures. So the answer is first we will define our requirement and next one is we'll select only required fields instead of selecting all fields from a table. Then we should avoid select distinct query in our procedures. Next point is we should create joins with inner join instead of other join. So for filtering our data, we should use where clause to filter instead of group by having clause. We can use index as well for a table to fetch the record fast. Next question is what are DDL, DML and DCL? DML is data manipulation language. It is used to retrieve, store, modify, delete, insert and update data in a database. Insert, update, delete and select are the data manipulation language statements. DDL is data definition language which is used to create and modify the structure of database objects in database. Create, alter and drop are the DDL statements. DCL is data control language which is used to create roles, permission and referential integrity as well, which is used to control access to database by securing it. Grant and revoke are the DCL statements. So the next question is how to get last generated ID value. So the answer is using identity function. It will give. So the answer is using an identity function. It will give last generated ID value within same session and across any scope. So next one is scope identity function. So it will return ID from same session and same scope. So the next one is ident current function, which will be specific to a table across any session and any scope. So next important question is how to retrieve only non-matching rows from left table. So using this query, we can retrieve our required data. Select a star from table 1, left join table 2 on table 1 dot primary key ID to table 2 primary key ID, where table 2 primary key ID is null. So next similar question is how to retrieve only non-matching rows from right table. So here we can write same. Select a star from table 2, left join table 1 on table 2 primary key ID to table 1 primary key ID, where table 1 primary key ID is null. So next question is what are different type of function in SQL and difference between inline table value function and multi-statement table value function. So the answer is different function in SQL are a scalar function, inline table value function, and multi-statement table value function. So the differences are in an inline table value function, return clause cannot contain the structure of the table, whereas multi-table value structure is defined. Next difference is in inline table value function, there is no begin and end block, while in multi-statement table value function, we have this block. Next difference is inline table value functions are better for performance as compared to multi-statement table value function. So the last important question is what are deterministic and non-deterministic functions? So the answer is deterministic function always return the same result anytime they are called with a specific set of input value and given state of database. Example square function, power function, and then count function. All aggregate function are deterministic functions. Non-deterministic function will return the different results like get date. Here rand_1 is a deterministic function because it will return the same value at any point of time, while rand will be non-deterministic function because every time it will return the different value. So that's it for this session. Please do subscribe. I very much appreciate the support. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and good luck in your pursuit of passing your SQL interview. Thank you.